Welcome back to the Epically Geeky Show, episode number 157. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight's opening question is, what controversial, geeky hill are you willing to die on? Would anyone like to go first? Lainey?
I have notes.
Okay.
For the opening question?
I know, right?
Mostly I just knocked everything all cattywampus. Mostly because I just didn't want to word this incorrectly. I feel that the hardcore, intense lifer fanboys are far more detrimental to the Star Wars franchise than any of the new stuff could ever be.
I would agree with that. That's not a hill I think you should have to die on. In fact, I would say the majority of the fandom would probably feel the same way, except for the super die-hard old school fanboys.
I think it was Freddie Prinze Jr. that did an interview not too long ago, and I felt like he really put it best, where he was just like, all these old dudes that are just like, stop messing with everything. If we didn't mess with stuff and make it relatable to now, it would die. The franchise would die. And I've always gotten a lot of flack, mostly from extreme fanboys, of the way that I consume Star Wars media. Because I would argue I know more than some, more than most, but very much less than some. But I feel like anytime anything comes out, I'm just excited about it. I want to take in all the Star Wars media because I like it. I enjoy it. It's characters that I love. It's a world that I love. I'm into it. And I'll gobble it up. I'm the fan that I would argue that the fans like me are keeping the franchise alive. I want to go see Galaxy's Edge. I want to go and, watch any new one-off movie that comes out. I want to watch the limited series on Disney Plus. Like, I'm into it. And I don't really care either way if I feel like they're doing, to an extent, I don't care if I feel like they're necessarily doing right by a character. I feel like most of the creative stuff that they've done, I felt rang very true. And I'm into it. I like it. I'll take it. So, but I feel like when you get all butthurt about everything and you're just like, I'm not going to go see it, they're ruining my childhood. Get fucked. You're ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, and if something pop culture ruined your childhood, that's a phrase I just want to punch you in the face.
Then you need to look into an eye cream and probably a joint supplement, old man.
Yeah. So
exposed.
Yeah, exactly.
You're so awesome.
Things that ruin your childhood. Bill Cosby.
Yes.
Because it's like, you're the best dad. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Yeah. That's the type of stuff that I'm like, okay, no, that could be considered. Yeah. So.
Or the dad from Seventh Heaven.
Oh yeah, that type of crap. Yeah, that's the stuff that ruins a childhood. So
I'll save this for later. Remind me about Seventh Heaven.
I never actually watched the show. But...
Oh, I did.
Oh, I didn't watch it, but I knew.
I was trying age to watch it.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Joseph, you want to go next?
Sure. The Dark Side won the Duel of Fates.
Dark Side won the Duel of Fates.
Obi-Wan killed Maul, yes, but if Qui-Gon had won, Anakin would have been trained by Qui-Gon, and he may not have gone. He would have been a Grey, but he wouldn't have gone to the dark side.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I would.
Too deep for me.
No, I can see how there would be people who would argue that. So, Sean, would you like to go next?
I'm going to use the example that was in our chat.
Okay.
Picard over Kirk, 100%. I'd fall on a blade for that one. But I even named my kid after that. So, yeah, Picard all the way. Kirk's a friggin' moron. And I met him in real life, and don't meet your heroes. Like, that's...
my heart for you, Sean.
Oh, God. But yeah, Picard all the way. I can't wait to meet Patrick Stewart. Hopefully he survives until the next time I get to meet him. But yeah.
Hopefully so. Ray?
Yeah. Mary Poppins is a Time Lord.
Yeah.
She is. There is no other.
I think
her bag is bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
I have Yeah, seeing the information that's put out there, it is kind of hard to argue against it.
Can't argue
but-
it.
Pretty wibbly wobbly. Yeah.
Timey wimey.
Right. Yeah.
I agree with that.
That
I
was
like
not.
it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good hill to die on.
Yeah, really.
Chris, do you have one?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yes, by the way. In fact, I do.
Trelawney just came.
Minerva.
Minerva Gunn just came out.
So it's not a secret that I don't like this particular character. Batman is unnecessary.
That is a hill to die on. Let me tell you.
Gotham's still a shithole. He's not doing his job. Stop making movies.
Why stop there? DC is a shithole.
It's a shithole. Yeah, it's not getting any better. Psycho still keeps showing. Clearly, Batman needs to get fired and just go buy an island and live there. He stops fucking things up. Stop it.
That's along the lines of that Indiana Jones theory in the first
Yes, that's what I'm looking to.
I fucking hate that theory.
Adding to anything.
unnecessary to the
He's
movie.
unnecessary
Yeah.
to the plot.
Friggin' MacGuffins.
Have any of y'all watched Peacemaker?
I
Yes.
saw the first episode last night.
Okay, because
Really?
I've seen parts of it. I've seen parts of it cut out, but there's a scene where he's going to visit his dad, and the next door neighbor asks him something or another about Batman. And he's like, "Batman's a fucking pussy, man." He said, "How many times has he arrested the Joker, who goes to jail, who comes back out and kills people? That motherfucker's a pussy." Like he just is going off. Like he was going off on the whole Justice League, but it was
Catherine
hilarious.
wants that opening song as her wedding song.
Oh my
I
god,
have
the
to
opening
dance
song
with her.
is so funny.
Do you think
Also
it's
Joker.
My daughter's awesome.
What's the name of Captain Amazing in Mystery Men? You know how he goes and he's on the board for the parole board for Casanova Frankenstein, and he lets him out specifically because he's losing endorsements and he needs another supervillain. Do you think that's what Batman's doing with the Joker?
Well, there is a comic book storyline. I think it's the current one. The Joker took all of Bruce Wayne's fortune. Batman is broke.
So
I
he's
still like.
He has to go to Lex Luthor for help.
Joker is Batman.
Joker is Batman.
Yeah, Joker's the future Batman.
I mean,
No, the other way around.
if you watch, was it, is it Heavy Metal? Where it's the Batman who laughs. The Joker that got infected with the Batman got infected with the Joker toxin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
The
It's
ultimate joke is that Batman has to kill his own parents to become the Joker. That's like,
That was
who am I?
There were a couple of them that popped into my brain. The one I was like, I was trying to find one because you specifically said controversial. The two best comic villains are Magneto and the Joker. Period. End of conversation. Because any other villain you throw out there, those two are completely at the opposite ends of the spectrum. They do it better than anyone else. If you are just completely mad and you just want to see the world burn, no one does it better than the Joker. If you actually have an axe to grind for a legitimate reason, Magneto's the man to go to. Like, if you look at what Magneto has gone through, it's hard to go, yeah, you're right. People are bullshit. Like, we've kind of fucked up this whole planet. Maybe we should be gone. It's kind of hard to argue that point at just, when you start looking at stuff, because it's like, well, we'll give us another chance. We'll give us another chance. And we'll do what? We're going to just like enslave mutants again? We're going to just keep killing each other off? Anyway, that's a hill that I have died on a couple of times in conversations with geeks. And
I actually had a thought about Magneto the other day that we could talk about this at another time, but it was basically, at what point in time, how far, because I feel like it has to be soon, do they change Magneto's origin? Because, I mean, if he's a Holocaust survivor,
yeah,
he's going to be 100 years old.
Be dead.
Unless they move the series around in time, you're right. They're going to have to change his origin. Unless one of his mutant abilities is just the fact that he ages.
Because like the MCU changed Iron Man's origin.
Yeah.
Or into a killing factor of some sort.
So, all right. So let's get into the main topic. So Lainey actually is the one that threw this idea out there. Her idea was for us to come up with. She said 3 to 5. I came up with 3. I couldn't think of any more because I was really trying to go from the heart on this one. But to come up with geeky confessions. So these are things that maybe you haven't told everyone, or maybe you've talked about on this show before, and you're just like, nope, I'm going to reiterate it. Because we've done this show for, we were talking before the show, we've been doing this show since 2015. A lot of the cast members on here were not on there all the way back in the beginning. So as Ray exits the scene, I need to go back and see when the first episode you showed up on.
It was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it was pretty early. So, but anyway, Lainey threw out this idea for geeky confessions. So, with that being said, I guess let's just continue on from the beginning. And Lainey, would you like to go first?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Have a real confession to me.
Okay.
So we're all aware of Murray the cat that lives in my house.
Yes.
The one, the only Murray the cat.
Speaking of, he just walked in the door.
He heard his name. Hey, buddy. So, there has been a kind of ongoing narrative that I did not come up with, but I also did not dismiss
Dispute?
that he was named after Bill Murray.
Mhm.
Murray. My geeky confession is that Murray is not named after Bill Murray at all. Murray is named after cheese.
There is a brand of cheese.
There's a brand of cheese
Murray.
called Murray's Cheeses.
Why did you name the cat after cheese?
It's a very long story, but when I adopted him, he came with a name that was frankly a little problematic, and it just didn't suit him, and he didn't answer to it either. And so he didn't have a name for like 2-3 months. Because I figured he would let me know what he wanted his name to be. I figured it would just come to me. And I was home.
She's just yelling random things at him.
Elu, Shibo, like just trying to figure something out. No, I had a list for a long time. At one point his name was almost Loki. But it didn't suit him. He was just like, whatever. So I was in the grocery store one day, and in my hometown, at like the Kroger's and stuff, in the deli section, they have a lot of Murray's Cheeses, which is a fancy cheese brand from like up in New York City. And they had this big display, and they had like a thing hanging from the ceiling, Murray's Cheeses. And I was like, Murray. And I went home, and I called to him. I called him Murray, and he meowed at me and came trotting across the room. I said, well, that's it. That's his name. So
I like Bill Murray better. I'm going with that.
Yes, Murray is not named after Bill Murray. It is a nice coincidence because I do love Bill Murray so much. But Murray was not actually named after Bill Murray. He's named after cheese.
Gotcha. Joseph, how are you going to break my heart now?
The Return of the King is the superior Return of movie.
Yes.
It's far better than Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
This is a path I can't follow you on.
Chris,
We're still friends, but I can't follow you down this path.
Joseph, I'm with you. I'll follow you.
It only took one ending to end the Return of the Jedi.
Oh, so he wants to debate it.
It took fucking 5 to end that
You're just
damn movie.
You're just mad. Yeah.
It's worse than the book. The book just
Oh,
yeah.
It keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
that's why I won't read it anymore.
Yeah. But the book, to me, the book flowed though. Like the book wasn't like fade to black and scene. And here we come back again. It's just like, what's going on here? So
I agree with Joseph.
all right, that's cool. Sean?
Having a little hard time reading my writing here. Game of Thrones. Highly overrated.
Yes.
I got through, I think, the first season
Mm-hmm.
and said,
None?
Watch
Wow.
the season?
if I want to watch porn, I download porn.
Fair enough.
And not only that, it went on and fucked up the Wheel of Time. Because
Oh yeah.
people liked Game of Thrones and the action in it, and they went and screwed up Wheel of Time, which I was excited for, and they fucked it up. Because they're like, we need to have more action and blood in it, just like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that wasn't in the books. So they added it into the series and screwed up the series. One of the things wrong with the series, and it wasn't the only thing, but anyway, yeah, it was directly because of Game of Thrones. So it took something I loved and mangled it all up. So yeah, I don't like Game of Thrones.
Would you say that the first and second seasons are probably the most, I mean, for lack of a better term, horny seasons of Game of Thrones? I felt like it got the first three.
better.
Yeah, the first three I feel like are real horny, and then I feel like after that it kind of chills out.
Really?
Yes. And then 7 and 8 just suck.
Listen to what you're saying though. Like first couple seasons, and then it started like.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
the first 3 seasons were still very. I liked them.
Listen,
I really liked Game of Thrones.
I will never forget my first scene that I've watched of Game of Thrones, and it was partway through one of the first. It was the first season. It was a couple episodes in. I was watching the hockey game on the computer. Chris is watching this show called Game of Thrones. I'm like, hey, okay, you go ahead and watch it. It looks like some, I don't know, some. So I'm watching. All of a sudden, I look up and I see one girl going down another one, and another one's there, and I'm like, what the fuck are you?
Oh, I know that scene.
Yeah.
Start over.
I remember that.
Pause the hockey.
I have no interest in Game of Thrones. I'm an uber geek, but no, Game of Thrones,
There you go.
whatever.
I've
So
done.
you won't be watching the prequel or the sequel.
No, I will
I
not
watched
waste
like
my
3
time on it.
seasons of it, and because of all the hate for the final season, I've decided I don't think I'll ever go back and redo it. So
I had my issues with the final season, but I also know that me getting angry about it and carrying on, it doesn't solve anything. So
I've got other things to watch though. It's like, do I really want? It's what, 6 seasons?
8.
8.
Oh God.
Do I really want to commit
So glad
myself
I
to 8
stopped.
seasons of a show that I know I'm going to be at the end and be like, eh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Goodbye.
That's the and see that was
You
the
are the
problem.
weakest link.
What was so funny was at one time I was trying to convince Sean. I was trying to convince Cy to watch Heroes, and I'm like, watch the first season, just pretend everything after that never happened. He's like, why? I'm like, no, it never happened.
it never happened.
So
Why? What? Like,
yeah, nothing ever happened after that. Everyone lived happily ever after. Goodbye. Ray, what's one of your confessions?
I'm gonna start with anime. I just don't get it
at all.
I'm surrounded in that anime in my house because my kids love it, and I'm like, okay.
I have had high school friends show me some episodes of different anime, and
Tara's really into
Tara was huge into it. I had other friends, and I was like, okay, like.
yeah.
So anime in general, it's like, okay,
anime is like a beer, man. You just got to find the one that you like.
Yeah, there is. Joseph is right. There is so many out there.
Here's the thing, though. He tells me that all the time, and then he never shows me an anime that I'll like. He'll be like, well, this one, no. Oh, no. I think the anime that I do like didn't happen with you. I like Sailor Moon.
Oh, God.
Well, I
Sailor Moon.
Like,
yeah. Joseph's just like, that's not anime.
You're so cute, Lane. Oh, my God.
Chris.
So I have a bunch of stuff I will never see, and I have no interest in seeing. So the movies is Terminator movies. Never seen any of them. Don't want to. Die Hard movies. Haven't seen them. Don't want to. Any of the Godfather stuff. Don't want to. The shows. Don't want to watch Walking Dead. I don't like zombies in general.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah, I would agree
Vampire
with you.
Diaries. Even though I like vampires.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get fucked. That's awful.
Logan was a bit shocked on that one. The OC, my sister was like really big into that. It was like her thing in high school. I'm like, yeah. Pretty Little Liars, I want to watch that. Euphoria. I watch Skins. I watch Skins too. I'm done. I can't. I'm 40 years old. I feel like if I start watching that shit again, there might be something wrong with me. I can't watch teenagers go through shit. Like, it was different. You know, your late 20s, or you can kind of recall it. But I like being 40 and you're like watching, you know, Cassie and Maddie or whatever the fucking thing over this. I only have TikTok reference at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't watch it anymore. None of this stuff is appealing anymore. So yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Man. And see, there are a couple of those in there that I would be like, you don't have to watch them all. Just
No.
there's like a single one. You need.
want, I'll give
tried
you
to-
notes on the Godfather. I like it. Weirdly, I liked it, but
I think at this point it's just like no.
I tried to talk her into Terminator
You
2.
did, yeah, and I
oh,
said
fuck
Oh.
it.
And see, that would be the one of
Mhm.
the Terminators. Terminator 2 would be the one.
Yeah.
If the Godfathers, it would be the first one. And then you said of Die Hards, it would be
yeah.
the first one. Like,
I see, but I think she would enjoy them all the way to 3.
The second Godfather was really good. Third one was kind of me.
Is the third one the one that he his daughter was in?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
I also haven't seen any of the Rocky movies, and we tried watching Rocky
Yeah.
What, and I'm like, is he supposed to be stupid? Like, is that the thing? I didn't get it, and I did not enjoy it.
okay, so let me ask the guys here. Let me ask the guys here.
Which Rocky?
If you were only going to show her one, you've talked to Chris, and she's like, fine, I will watch one Rocky movie. Which one do you pick? I'm telling you right now, I'm going for Super Cheese, and we're going 4, baby.
I was going to say 3 or 4.
3 or 4, I'm going for Super Cheese, baby.
Yeah.
I don't
You
know
wanna
if I
watch-
even watched those ones.
If you want to watch Rocky be a super, the fight, the Super Cheese, definitely 3 or 4. When
Yeah.
Rocky 1 came out,
Adrian's Revenge.
when the very first Rocky movie came out, there was an article published that said that Sylvester Stallone was the next Martin Scorsese because of the way the movie is.
Yes, I remember hearing that.
Wow.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I'll
Because
say
the first movie is completely different from the rest of them.
It
First
is.
is an actual story about a man. All the rest of them are about just how fast can I beat up this other dude.
Yep.
Chris, if you don't want to watch The Godfather, you need to listen to You're Wrong About. They do an episode on The Godfather, and they say my favorite thing about The Godfather, which is that they think a lot of men, especially, really like The Godfather, but they never watch past the first 30 minutes.
What?
Like they don't. No one ever watches all of The Godfather.
No, I watched
I
all
do.
of Godfather.
Hour.
I love The
I'm talking about
Godfather.
you clowns. I'm talking about most people.
So
Oh.
I'm going to make an admission to this one. I have yet to see The Godfather.
Yeah, he hasn't seen.
That being said, I was told by my cousin, who is Italian,
Oh.
said if you're going to watch it, you need to sit down with me and I will watch it with you and translate for you properly. I said, okay.
Fair enough.
I watched it with Eugene for the first time.
Here's the thing about The Godfather. The Godfather, and honestly, even though I would say Rocky 4, in all honesty, the first Rocky movie, they're not just the best ones of the series. They're legitimate good movies. Like they are. The reason why they are on the 100 list is because of stuff that is in those movies. Because it's become so ingrained in pop culture. It's like, okay, I get where this is going.
I think Chris has the same problem I have, where it gets to the point where you've been told by so many, specifically straight white guys, that you have to see it, that you're like, no, I'm not going to fucking do it on
Oh
principle.
no.
I would say
I
this.
won't see Die Hard now on principle.
If you watch the first Rocky movie and then sit down and watch the rest, you're gonna say they're not related to each other
Yeah, they're
whatsoever.
completely different movies.
Oh,
Completely
one of
different.
the Sylvester Stallone movies I will watch is Demolition Man and Judge Dredd. I will watch that.
awesome.
I like those movies, but
Oh.
I
am the law.
exactly.
I can't do Judge Dredd.
I think I've only watched the first Rocky movie. And then I was like, I'm done. Whatever. But yeah, Judge
Demolition
Dredd.
Man is
Demolition
cinematic
Man?
gold.
Oh, it's so good.
love
Especially
Demolition.
when Taco Bell takes over the dining industry.
It is the
Really?
best fucking
Demolition
thing ever.
Man only gets better with age. It's
I've never
crazy.
seen any of
It's
those
it's in
movies.
the future, and Taco Bell is a fine dining establishment.
Yeah.
And it is the only
And
it
it's-
is the
Yeah.
only fast food restaurant.
The
That's
fast food
my
wars. It was the only one to survive.
Yeah.
Baja Blast for everyone.
I want to know how the shells work.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
how do the
still-
freaking shells
yes.
work?
The shelf, and then
So they put
I
3 seashells on the toilet, and whenever they go to the bathroom, that's what they use. And they never explain how they use the seashells.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
Or your
I
password
get-
should
it's-
always be teddy bear.
Oh, they have sex by putting a helmet on.
Like a VR type helmet.
And
Because you don't touch each other. That was the other thing. So like they would walk up to each other and be like,
Yeah.
and they never touch because you don't want to do germs.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
which makes more sense now.
Now
Okay, and see, that's the funny thing. Going back to that movie, a
Uh-uh.
lot of people pointed out they're like, because one of the things that I always see people point out is they want to point out specifically the police chief, his reaction when he's like, "No, I'm doing this." He's just like, the idea that you would disobey an order was so foreign to him, he could not imagine disobeying a direct order. Like, yeah, that's kind of like one of the scenes they pull out. They're like, no, if you want to see like someone's mind being blown, that someone could actually not do what you tell them to, this is the movie right here. So, all right. So my first one, I guess I'm firing shots here at Lainey. I like pop music.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
What's wrong with that?
There are a lot of people give you shit for, oh, it's pop music. You see Ray's shaking his head right now. Guess what, Ray? Guess what, Ray? K-pop is kind of cool.
Some BTS.
KDA, Blackpink. I'm just saying, there's some stuff. Some of that stuff hits, and it's just like, damn, this is good. This has got a good beat to it. But
Joseph, you're picking me up from the airport, please.
no, listen, I'm not gonna make you listen to it. I'm just saying. But no, it's one of those things that I know a lot of people get shit about because, oh, pop music's that's the generic, just mass produced, whatever. And I'm like, I can't help it. I like. The other thing is when I listen to music, a lot of times I mentally play through it, and I guess it's just because I've always kind of been a video guy, so I can see listening to a song, like if I were going to make a music video of it, the transitions and the energy and everything else in it, that's how it plays in my mind. And so listening to some other stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is cool, but I can't imagine, God, I'm dating myself, a music video to this. Like, it would just be all right, cool, this long drawn out shot, this is boring as shit. Like, I want energy, I want it to hit. So
that's why the Foo Fighters were amazing, because no matter what song there was, all of their music videos were fun.
And I'm not, like I said, I'm not knocking any of the music. I'm just coming out and saying I like pop music.
I like pop music too, Eugene.
Thank you.
Yep, I'm with you.
Good
There's
deal.
a lot of really incredible production that goes into some, like, especially classic pop music. There's a lot of, like, really real thought that goes into the production of all of that. Listen, Ray, I get it. I'm like you. I like a little bit of, like, substance. But my dad always taught me, like, he was the big music buff, and he always taught me, like, things like ABBA and the Bee Gees, it all has its place. Everything has a place. Everything is built for a different niche. Even if you don't necessarily think that it's good, it might be somebody else's favorite music, and there's a place for it. So, and
Ray.
I will agree that there is a place for everything. However,
that is the garbage.
No. Just stop, Ray. Stop.
Not every radio station has to play pop music. We can have.
I do agree with that.
Okay.
100%.
That is a completely different conversation to me. Radio is dead. Like, all
really,
it is the same garbage. Every rock station is the same fucking thing. Every pop station is the same. Every country, because it's all pretty much owned by Clear Channel. And they're just like, literally, you can go from one market to another, and literally the song will fade out and fade back in. And you're going from two different markets playing the exact same playlist. Yes, radio is dead.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on, Lainey, what is your second thing?
Did we skip Ray?
No.
No. Sorry. Okay. I think, and I have hoarded this opinion I've held on to this opinion for a long time. I think that the only way to keep Indiana Jones relevant is by treating the franchise like James Bond, and we get a new Indy every few years.
I never thought of that. That's awesome.
I think we should get. I like Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was all of our Indies. He's the only Indy we've ever known. But, like, the ongoing, like, premise of Indiana Jones cannot just be that he's old. Like,
he belongs in a museum.
He belongs in a museum. We need something different. Like, why not get some new blood in there and get someone else to take over the role? It has kept James Bond relevant for decades.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the character is the thing that is so mesmerizing and important and so, like, enthralling with the series. It doesn't really have anything to do with Harrison Ford, who is not that interesting of a person, really. So, like,
and the plot will proceed without him.
Yeah, the plot would proceed just fine without him anyway. He didn't fucking do anything. Those Germans would have died either way. So, but yeah, like, I think we should do that.
Can I just request one more movie with him where he finds the Millennium Falcon? That's the only request.
Oh, 110%. I want it to be like the Great Movie Ride, where he's like, him and Sala. I think on the Great Movie Ride it was him and Sala. Were like holding the artifact, and on the hieroglyphics behind them, R2D2 and C3PO.
Yeah.
See, okay, so I'm 100% behind this, and just like with James Bond, I think part of the reason I have not particularly enjoyed Daniel Craig's James Bond is because, to me, James Bond should be fighting the Russians. Like it should be Cold War level, and that's why I also think with Indiana Jones, you know what? If you love Temple of Doom, that's fine. But Indiana Jones is not Indiana Jones unless he's fighting Nazis. Like that. Sorry. Like even if we went year after year after year and got new person, as long as it's set during World War II, different places doing other things, I would go watch those movies in a heartbeat. But when you start taking Indiana Jones and he's not fighting Nazis, I'm like not that interested.
Honestly, I feel like you could do other wars. I do.
You might could. It's just
he's fighting the Proud Boys or something like that.
Oh Jesus.
Indiana Jones at January 6th.
Yeah, the
go.
only issue I have with your suggestion, Lainey, is you're like moving them forward to like Eugene and Ray, my past. So it'd be like the 80s kind of thing instead of like the 50s, and it just makes me feel old.
Fair. Fair. That's fair. But I do agree with you. Indiana Jones does almost kind of have to exist within a specific time period.
Exactly. You're moving them ahead 30 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden, fuck.
Well, so much of his character depends on that specific time period. Wasn't Crystal Skull set in like the 60s?
Sorry, what movie?
50s.
The 50s?
Are you serious? You have a serious look on your face. The Crystal Skull?
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah,
there's only 3 Indiana Jones movies.
The thing is, if you were to bring Indiana Jones into the future, a lot of the problems that he had in older movies would be solved just because we have technology. Like most of Seinfeld would not happen.
Oh no, I totally, yeah. Hey, why don't you call George and see if he's actually at the restaurant? Okay, no, he's not there. Dun 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 dun. Dun music plays.
Let's make a reservation on Open Table before we head down to the Chinese.
Yeah, no shit. Are there tickets available for this movie still? No. All right, cool.
All right, we'll put something else.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So, Joseph, what's your next confession?
The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game series of all time. I can, for the most part, name the entire timeline. I have a Hylian shield. I have 2 Master Swords. There is a link on that poster right there. I've only ever played 3 of the games.
Really? Which 3 have you played? I know it. I know Breath of the Wild.
Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Breath of the Wild.
Wow.
Okay, we need to get you the original one. I will bring it down.
That's 3 more than I played.
I would think. I would say you probably need to at least play the first one. But honestly, I never played Majora's Mask, but I played Ocarina of Time. Really, dude. Like honestly, if you went back and played the first one, I think you're good. Like you could fill in if you wanted to, but I think you're pretty good.
The remastered A Link to the Past for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's available. I haven't done it.
I own it, and I've played it for a couple hours. And
Link to the Past is not the one that you want to play, though. You've got the original one's the one you want to play. Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
But isn't the first one, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past?
No, we're talking about the original on the NES.
Gotcha.
That's the one.
Yeah. You can definitely skip the second one.
Actually, I'm lying. I've played 4. I played Skyward Sword.
See, and I played Skyward Sword for just a couple hours, and that's it. So.
That's it. There are 17?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. When you start figuring in, like, all the Game Boy versions, yeah.
There's 2 Game Boy versions. There's the... Like, I never played Twilight Princess, which is supposed to be...
That one was decent.
I'd never played Wind Waker or anything of that. Like,
oh, that was actually a really good one. I'm reconsidering now. But no, I think there's definitely some good ones out there that you would go back and enjoy. So, The control scheme is what may throw you, though. You may be like, "Whoa, this just doesn't feel like it should." So, that's an interesting confession. No, I was getting a little nervous when you're like Legend of Zelda. I was like, if you tell me this is the worst series ever, I don't know if we can be friends still. So, not that I'm like diehard Zelda by any means, but still. Even though that's what my dog's named after. Sean, what's your next confession?
Screw it. I'm ditching the notes because you can't read them. Transformers, the Babe movies. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I know not everyone on this channel did. You know what? Pure entertainment value. They were good. Blowing shit up. Transformers. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Transformers fan from the cartoons. I grew up with them in the 80s. It wasn't realistic to think that they could be translated into current movies. Sorry, just
I
didn't
disagree
work.
with that, but I understand where you're going.
Even with the Bumblebee movie, where we had the original versions in that movie for 30 seconds, that was awesome. It was epic. But storyline wise, didn't make sense to have like robots on a different planet look like cars and trucks on Earth. Sorry, doesn't work at all ever in any universe. So you had to have like futuristic science fiction versions of the Transformers. Yeah, there's a lot of explosions. The only problem I had with the Bay movies was I had a hard time with some of the dialogue. They were talking so fast I didn't understand a fucking thing they said. That was it. The Transformers themselves and even the storylines made sense, even though they were Bay movies. I've been holding that back for so long, but you know what? And like Shia LaBeouf, whatever. You screwed up Indiana Jones. You also screwed up Transformers. But anyway, the movies themselves, like even Optimus Prime and like, it was cool. It was fun to watch. I'd sit down and watch it anytime.
That is the movie series that made me realize I was talking to a coworker and I was like, oh God, another one's coming out. And I just mentioned it to this person that I would talk pop culture with. And she's like, I know, I'm so excited. And I'm just like, okay, let's just listen to what she has to say. And she kept going on and she said a lot of the stuff that you were saying. There's big explosions. It's a fun movie to watch. You just kind of go and turn your brain off and you watch a bunch of shit blow up and everything. And that's when I kind of realized I was like, you know what? I would rather hear someone talk about something energetically and enjoying it, that something that I don't like, than I would sitting down and bashing something that you know, me and another person both like. I would rather listen to hear someone talk positive about something that even I don't care about than just sitting down and bagging on something.
I've been holding that one back just because of you, Eugene.
Honestly. Dude, and honestly, like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are scenes and there are things in those movies that I did enjoy watching. There are parts that just drive me totally insane, especially that second movie. But that second movie, the biggest problem was that was during the writer's strike, and they were literally just throwing shit at the wall. But
that's my life. I throw shit at walls, but
stupid monkey.
It was a fun movie to watch. All of them. I'll watch all of them.
So, you know what? Good for you. If you enjoy them, go for it, man. So,
but don't take me wrong. Like, I am a huge Transformers fan. Like Beast Wars and the original Transformers and all that. I'm right up with all the lore. I love it all. But I love those movies too.
And that's
fine. It was
fine.
my first chance to get like on the big screen. Hated the 1986 original Transformers movie. They killed off everyone, the bastards, but
yeah.
At least they didn't do that in the Bay movies.
Well, technically they did kill Prime in one of them, but then they brought him back.
Oh yeah, they brought him back in this. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
At this point, screw you.
Yeah.
30-year-old movie.
Who was next? I think it was Ray.
Yeah.
All right, Ray.
I'm trying. You know what? I'm gonna go with this one. So, speaking of things we don't mind, I don't mind Star Wars Episode 7 or 9. 8 I can skip because it's just a car chase.
The slow card phase.
that never ends.
Fucking forever.
But honestly, 7 and 9, I was okay with it. Continues the story, and it's fine. It's not amazing. They tried to do something. It didn't work 100%, but I don't mind it. Like it's.
We got to see our friends. We got to meet new friends.
I'm okay with them. I'll be honest with you. I'm okay. I'm actually okay with all three of them.
Yeah, there's one change that I've heard that I would really like to have seen.
Which was?
So when Kylo Ren is cleansed of the dark side, and
Spoiler.
Are you gonna say I need a hero?
No.
Yes.
I love that. I love that so much.
But instead of chucking his lightsaber into the ocean, I wish he would have turned it on and it had been a white saber that still sparks and still does everything. Like it's still but it just shows that he's cleansed of the dark side. I think that would have been kind of cool too.
That would have been super.
That is
Maybe if he had found a different kyber crystal or something and like taken the
No.
different. See, I would have liked to see him change out the crystal and.
You can cleanse the crystal. If you cleanse the crystal, then it becomes the original crystal again. And so
Okay.
I think it would have shown her sacrifice a little bit, Leia's sacrifice a little bit more, where she cleanses him of the dark side.
Justice for Leia.
Yeah.
Cool. Fair enough. Chris?
I agree with you.
I was talking to Star Wars. She kept it.
Star what?
My thing, and I think I've mentioned this before. I think Dracula, the Bram Stoker Dracula, is very boring. I tried reading the book, and I'm one of those. I will try my hardest to finish reading the book. I'm a completionist. I will try my damnedest. I will power through. And I couldn't. I think I got maybe halfway. I don't even think I got halfway, and I'm like, this is fucking boring. So then I'm like, okay, maybe it's just I don't have the attention span for the language it's written in. I'll watch the movie. No, I turned the movie off. And I love Gary Oldman, and I love Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves. I couldn't watch. I was so fucking bored. And Keanu Reeves cannot do a British accent. Bless his pretty little heart. Not even a little. Not even. And I do. I love Gary Oldman and I love Winona Ryder. And I'm just like, I am bored. I don't want to watch this anymore. I need to shut it off. I was sad because I love vampire lore. And this was kind of like the genesis of it all. And I was just like, this is boring. This is a boring vampire movie. I shut it off. So I don't like Dracula. Bram Stoker.
Fair enough.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who wrote Dracula?
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker is the okay.
Yeah. So I don't.
Second, I was like, well, maybe it was Mary Shelley and she was fucked. So.
When I love Frankenstein. I love
Frankenstein is beautifully written.
Yes, it's one of my favorite books. I can't believe she was 18 when she wrote it. But Bram Stoker's Dracula, that specific Dracula, I don't like. It's boring for me, and I don't know what it says about my attention span, and I know you like it. I was
going to say, I actually have a little confession here. I actually really like the book, but I do love the broken up, the way that it goes through. I completely understand. Yes, it could be very boring.
Yeah.
I did, for some reason or other, it just kind of gripped me and I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the movie for what it is because it does drastically change stuff. I didn't care for Frankenstein. I thought Frankenstein was boring. I was just like, come on, when the fuck is this dude gonna show up again? Like, are we still chasing him in the snow? Come on. But yeah, no. So I totally get it because I know a lot of people who did enjoy the book, then hated the movie. Yeah. I also know people who were like, oh no, I really like the movie. I'm gonna read the book, and I'm just like, my God, why is this book so long?
Yeah. That's the other thing too. It's like 400 pages, and because our pets have zoomies. I'm very sorry.
That's good.
I love the movie. I love Jane Austen movies. I love the Pride and Prejudice. I can watch Sense and Sensibility like on end. I can watch Emma. I can watch all of that. I didn't like Jane Eyre for some reason, but I can't read it. I start reading it and I glaze over. So I just was because I also read the Portrait of Dorian Gray, and I was just like, oh my God, this is boring. I get it, symbolism. Oh, it's all terrible. And I'm like, Ben Barnes in an orgy scene, please, thank you. Like that's what I was waiting, and I did not get that in the book. So maybe I can't read that stuff.
I made the mistake of trying to read Bram Stoker's Dracula in grade 6.
Oh wow.
Did you?
What a year for you.
I didn't get through it.
No. Finley.
No, it
No?
was
Okay.
grade 6. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was
but
Finley.
Finley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Nice.
Dude.
My next one. Making sure no one can hear this one. I really want to collect toys again. I don't have the room. I don't have the money. And it's funny. I was hoping Sean was going to be back by now. Those Masterpiece Transformers are just fantastic. But even better than that, they've started this studio series, and they've done some even from the newer movies, the Bay movies that I don't really care for that Sean likes. And even though he doesn't like the '86 movie, they have, especially some of the Dinobots, they're about $50 a piece. I'm just like, I cannot afford to just buy these, but they're about so big, and they fucking look just like the cartoon. Like, those Ninja Turtles that we saw, the NECA Ninja Turtles, Joseph, that fucking look like they pulled them out of the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's what these Transformers look like. This is what I've been waiting for since I was a child. And I'm just like, I don't have the money or room for these things, but oh my God, they are so good looking. I just like, there's part of me, I keep going to bigbadtoystore.com and I'm just like, I could do this. Sean, have you seen the new studio series Transformer action figures?
Yes.
Are they not fantastic looking?
Them. They look amazing.
Yes.
But I think I would end up getting divorced if I started.
Okay, that was my confession. I want to start collecting toys again, but I don't have the room or the money for it.
Yeah, I don't think I could hide those from Deb.
Yeah, the first one, I think one of the first ones I saw was from the '86 movie. It's Slag with Daniel, and I just like my jaw just dropped. I'm just like, this looks like they just pulled them out of the movie. This is so amazing looking.
Yeah.
Of course, the boys were like, "Dad, are you gonna get it?" I'm like, "No,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't need to do
I saw Soundwave, and
Oh my God,
I
yes.
was like, oh, it's got the tapes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I got a buddy of mine who just bought the Lego Optimus Prime.
Nice. I'm asking for
And,
it for Father's Day. I don't know if I'm gonna get it, but that's what I asked for. So.
I almost did. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because, yeah, I'd probably be made fun of. But,
I'll be honest with you. Like, if I did get it, I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I have no idea where I'm gonna put this thing.
Yeah,
So,
actually, it's a buddy of Ray and I. He just got Optimus Prime, and he got the
Ecto 1. Or
the
no,
DeLorean. No, he got the
oh,
DeLorean.
yes, that DeLorean looks fantastic as well.
Really, the only one I want is actually Voltron, but
Oh yeah, the Voltron
like
looks fantastic.
$600. Like, oh, I should have bought it.
Yeah,
Chance. Oh well.
but yeah, that's another confession I have. I was thinking about it. I was just like, I would really like to collect toys again, but like I said, I don't have the money or the space. I don't need to set myself up for divorce, like you said.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
All right, Lainey, what's another confession you have?
All right. I liked Loki the least of all of the Marvel miniseries.
Okay, you watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right?
I watched all of them.
And you
I
like
like
Loki the least?
Really?
Do tell.
I don't know. I think for me, like I enjoyed it, but I'll be honest with you. I feel like after a little while, Loki, especially when there were like two fucking Lokis on screen, can get a little old. I really find Sylvie as like hilarious and charming as I felt like everyone else did. And it was very convoluted for me, which I understand it had to be because it was all about the multiverse and everything. So I respect that. It was good.
Time traveling sucks.
But it was just a lot. Like I remember watching it and being like, I mean, I'm interested. I want to know what's gonna happen. The score was incredible.
Yeah.
But overall, all things considered, that's the one that I like the least. I really liked Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So did I.
I really enjoyed it, but I
Yeah.
enjoy
Y'all are the people.
I enjoy watching those two characters like bounce off each other. I also
Yeah.
love a fucking buddy cop movie, so that made a lot of. That's why I like Thor Ragnarok so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a buddy cop film done by Taika Waititi, and those are the two things I like. So, but I mean, WandaVision will always be the top of my list. I was gutted by that, and I loved it. And it goes WandaVision, Hawkeye,
I really liked Hawkeye too.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki. Miss Marvel,
I was going to ask you.
I'm living for it. I haven't seen enough.
Ah.
I've only seen 2 episodes, so I can't fully commit, but I love it.
We live with Miss Marvel.
Yes, you do.
What?
That might be why I love it so much.
So far, Miss Marvel has been the lowest in our household.
Oh no, see that's I think because she's Kamala, the character is just so much like Logan.
She's so much like Logan. She really is.
Yeah.
I love it. I really enjoyed it. But again, it's a funny female lead who is learning about her own abilities. It's a story I get. I love it. I really love it. But yeah, Loki just I didn't dislike it. But like if I was gonna rewatch any of them, I mean I would rewatch WandaVision in a heartbeat. I wish I could see WandaVision for the first time again.
Yeah.
I desperately wish that I could. You remember that? You remember me blocking myself like in our room?
Yeah, because you didn't want to watch it with us.
I didn't want to watch it with y'all. I knew that my reaction was going to be visceral, and I needed to experience it by myself. Okay? It just was a thing. But yeah, I respect it. I enjoy it. I like Loki as a character. I do. But I was just like, okay, like multiverse of madness time. So,
Gotcha.
I do like the theory out there that Owen Wilson's character is another Loki.
That would be interesting.
I never loved anything more.
Does that change the series for you a little bit?
That's so funny. It's so stupid.
All right, Joseph, what's your next one?
The only 80s cartoon I remember anything about is the Thundercats. I know I watched G.I. Joe and Transformers and stuff like that, but I don't remember.
Wow.
You don't remember
anything about Yeah, because Ninja Turtles was 90s. So I was going to say, surely you remember Ninja
I remember Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles was 90s.
Okay, no, I understand. Because a lot of them were very close. Like, I've had conversations with people and they start describing it. And I'm like, you're talking about 2 different things. You're talking about Thundar the Barbarian and whatever the other thing was. So, yeah.
How about Silverhawks? Were you into that?
I remember watching Silverhawks. Don't remember what it was about.
Oh, jeez.
That doesn't sound real.
Wow.
No, it's a thing.
Oh, it was awesome. I like
there was
Brave Star.
I was about to say there was a cartoon about a native individual that lived on the planet Techstar.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Techstar, and he had Native American powers, and he would say like an animal, and then he would have that power.
That was so awesome. I loved his horse, the big ass gun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It is. That show would have had a pilot and then canceled immediately.
I was going to say, I feel like that show would have gotten out of production.
No, it made it quite a ways.
No, like today.
Oh,
yeah, in the 80s when you could say like slurs on TV.
No.
Like,
Brave Star would be a white dude.
There was an episode, I don't know if they went back to it or not. There was an episode of Transformers, I think it was season 2, where they went to a central, an Arabic country named Carbambia. I'm not shitting you.
You have to do better, you guys.
Carbambia. Now, granted, they did things like that, and yet there was also an episode where some of the Decepticons landed on a planet, and the locals thought one of them was a god, and they were like, "You have no idea how close they were to taking this episode off and never letting us air it," because they're like the idea that you were going to play with that a futuristic being would come back to a primitive civilization and could act as their god, and literally said God, lowercase g. They're like, we didn't think we were going to get past the censors, and we did. So that's one of those episodes that stands out to me because it's like, yes, it was a half hour, ad for toys, but they also were like, hey, let's maybe actually play around with some ideas and see what, let's throw out some theories and just maybe
What
give
we
the kids a
can
little
get
something to
away
think
with.
about. Yeah, that's true. Also, what can we
Yeah,
get away
really.
with? So
That being said, Joseph, I'm kind of with you. Like I remember watching GI Joe, but I don't remember the storylines of GI Joe. I remember watching Transformers. I don't really remember the storylines of the Transformers.
honestly, it was the same thing every week.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. I can remember all the storylines. It's kind of sad.
I don't remember any of the storylines for the. I remember almost every single episode of Transformers. I remember several GI Joe, but like some of the other episodes of other random cartoon, even Thunder the Barbarian, I do remember some of those episodes. So,
I
but I
think
mean,
my
literally, it's
problem
just
is
copy
I watched
paste.
them in university too. Like
Uh huh.
Mike and I, we like went on eBay and bought the tapes and watched
Nice.
them in university. So yeah, it's a little
like
fresher.
I remember the night like Spider-Man and
X-Men.
X-Men. Like there was an actual story arc, and you followed along, and like that's what I remember.
Gargoyles.
Gargoyle.
Gargoyle.
Oh,
Gargoyles was fantastic.
awesome!
Yes.
Of course, Sean liked Gargoyles. It was the fucking TNG cast. Like,
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you're
Riker.
sitting there watching an episode, you're like,
Yeah,
is that
I had
Dr.
Riker. I
Troy?
had Worf, Cold Steel, and there was Brent Spiner.
Uh huh.
Yeah, Marina Sirtis.
Yep.
Good
Yeah.
times.
That was a good show. All right, Sean, what's your next confession?
I'm gonna go with something a little more recent. Morbius was a fucking awesome movie.
Thank
The
you.
haters, I think, are just haters of Jared Leto, which is stupid. But it got like 16% Rotten Tomatoes. Just freaking ridiculous. They re-released Morbius a second time. I never heard of that for a fucking movie.
It's because they
And
missed.
it did even worse. I'm like, the kids and I went to see it, and we loved it.
I did. I
Jared Leto was great. Matt Smith
Yep.
was great. The storyline, yeah, it had some stumbling points, but wasn't bad. And Jared Leto acted awesome in that movie. So I don't know where all this hate is coming from. The worst Marvel movie ever made. You guys are so full of shit.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
They
It
can't
was
say
good.
that's the worst Marvel movie. That
That
Eternals exist.
literally.
What
like,
did you say, Lainey?
That Eternals exist. There's no way that can be the worst.
No. You're not even playing in the same league. If you have not seen X-Men Origins Wolverine, you have no room to talk about any movie. That movie is the garbagest of garbage.
No,
I think I
even
have
before
seen
that, Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
Okay, that was really bad.
But that was the original too. That was the original Marvel movie, and that was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was rough.
But it probably had like a $30 budget, so whatever.
Yes.
There's part of me that in this whole and again, I was really hoping for more from Doctor Strange. But anyway, how cool would it have been to have Lundgren show back up?
Oh my God, it's Punisher.
I didn't even think of that. That would have been so fucking cool.
That
But
would have been
anyway,
awesome.
Morbius was a good movie.
Yes, Morbius.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't. It was fun to watch.
Didn't hear what you said there,
Joseph.
Oh no, I was just I was gonna let Sean finish. But speaking of Dolph Lundgren, I was on HBO Max yesterday, and I was looking for something to watch, and they have a couple of like older movies out there, and He-Man, Masters of the Universe on Max.
Oh my
That
God,
was
it's
hard.
on there.
Yes.
I don't know if I can watch it again.
I like watching that one just because. What's his freaking name? He played Tom Paris in Voyager. I should know. Anyway, yeah, he's the younger kid that like figures out how to play the musical. Friggin'
With the cosmic key.
Yeah, that's
it.
Oh,
Gwildor. I remember watching that movie in the theaters going,
no.
why does
The
He-Man
hell
have a
is this?
gun? Why are they wearing armor? Who the fuck is this guy?
Why is he
Yeah.
in He-Man form if he does not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
The
so much
best
with that
character
movie.
in that movie was the guy that Skeletor zapped and vaporized. He was cool.
Where the hell is Battle Cat?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a bit of a disappointment, but when I watched that, I was like 10 years old or whatever. It was like, yeah, it's so cool.
If you've watched any of the makings of that movie, they literally ran out of money. That's why that final battle is so weird. It's just like this light show, and they're like, they couldn't even film it on set. They ran out of all of their money. So, no, it's seriously. If go watch, I think there's one on Netflix. It's really good to watch, and it's really sad because Dolph Lundgren, like literally forever thought he was the He's like, I am so sorry I ruined this, and everyone's just like, no, that was not. You did everything you could with that role. That you were not the problem with that movie. No. Everything else was a problem with that movie.
Besides, yeah, Dolph was actually really good as
he did everything he could. Like you felt for the man.
In that time period in the 80s, there was no one else that could be He-Man.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ray, what's your next one?
All right. I'm going to go with a food one.
Oh.
Rice pudding cannot have raisins in it.
I don't.
He doesn't like raisins in general as a rule. He doesn't like them, so.
You put raisins in it, I'm not eating it.
This is my favorite low steak.
So even like you're not down for a oatmeal raisin cookie?
No.
Nope.
What about a carrot cake cookie?
No.
Carrots don't belong in cookies either.
But a carrot cake is
no raisins.
No raisins.
His
raisins
sister,
are not meant to be in baked goods.
Okay, so his sister
Butter tarts
for him. Nope. So she set out grapes on top of their porch rail and let them dry out to make raisins, and then made him eat them when he was little, and so hence therefore no more.
Well, that's why you were.
Okay, yeah.
Can't do it. Can't can't do it.
That's
no raisins.
Fine.
How are you on prunes?
Ooh, prunes, baby.
They're just giant raisins.
I know they're just. I was just wondering if there's a distinction. You're just like, nope.
They're just
burn them all.
They're just giant raisins. Yeah, I like prunes. I love raisins. Like Quinn goes through them like crazy, but no, not
y'all are nuts.
Ray.
Gotcha. Chris. I didn't even think about food. There's some things I could rail on about food. Go on, Chris.
Okay, so there has been a lot of talk of Star Wars this evening. So this is the movie specifically. I just can't get into them. Any of the movies. Any 9 of them. I have very cold to luke, tepid water feelings about them. I just don't care. One of my best friends in high school, I was friends with a bunch of hipsters for about a year, and she made me watch the episodes 4 through 6. And she's like, you have to watch. I can't believe you've never watched Star Wars. I'm like, okay. So I watched it. I'm like, this is kind of stupid. I'm bored. That's literally a garbage can on wheels. No, I don't get it. I just didn't get it.
Poor R2.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that. It was some thing in the background. And I'm like, okay. And then when, I am your father, I'm like, okay. Woo!
Nothing like,
all right. Like, I guess. And then when I watched, I remember we had this he was super, super into Star Wars, and he had a countdown on his locker and everything for when the first episode came out.
He could have been a fanboy.
He could have been a fanboy. And I remember watching, I'm like, I don't get why everybody hates this movie. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, I don't understand why everybody like shits on it. And the other 3, I'm like, okay, I guess. And then the last 3, I'm like, I like all the offshoots though. Like I do like The Mandalorian. We've been watching Obi-Wan, it's been all right. Boba Fett. It's like Mandalorian season 3. The movies are fine. Like Rogue One broke my heart. I don't know why they needed to do that. So I'm just like, it's too much. And unless you read the books, maybe not so much the books, but unless you watch the cartoons, keep up with all of the canon, keep up with it's so big that for somebody like me who just wants to watch a movie to enjoy it, it almost takes away from it because there's all these like, I can't believe this character's back, and you're just sitting there like, okay, that's exciting, I guess. I don't know. So it gets lost on me, and I get a little frustrated because they cater so much to, you have to know all of these things. Like we were watching Boba Fett, and there was that big character reveal, that blue dude. I'm like, like that's why do I, now I feel I should have watched that in order to get this big screen.
See, I'm like you, Chris. There's a lot of stuff like that that's kind of lost on me too. because I enjoy all of it and I take in a lot of Star Wars content, but there's a lot of like ins and outs stuff that I just don't know.
Yeah.
And see, the Marvel movies are getting that way too. Like, if you had not watched WandaVision, how could
Yes.
you even possibly begin to enjoy Doctor Strange?
Exactly.
Like, you would have been like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and they were starting doing that with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the television show. If
Oh,
you
yeah.
hadn't watched the movies, you weren't going to be getting a lot of the references in the show. And so as somebody who watched the movies, I thought it was, interesting and fun. But with Star Wars, it's so vast and it's huge and it's so much of it that it's almost as if, unless you dedicate part of your geekdom or whatever to this and actually invest in it, it's almost as if you can't be just a passing Star Wars fan. You actually have to like be in it in order to get all probably the great stuff that's in it. But it's just like, I just watch an action movie? No, I can't. Okay, great.
Yeah, you can. They're called
You know,
Die Hard.
Like
Don't watch Star Wars. Star Wars is meant for the fans.
Right, and if you're not in that, then you miss a lot of that big stuff. Like, I just
That's
did.
fine.
Yeah, but but if you like it, then that's fantastic. It's too big. It's too big, and
I
that is.
understand. I got you on that one. This is the last one that I have, and then we can kind of just run around if anyone has additional ones. I've done some soul searching, and
Oh, this will be good.
I think podcasts and audiobooks are my new favorite thing, my new favorite form of media.
Did we not already know this?
I still enjoy watching TV shows. I still enjoy watching movies. But because I'm constantly listening to podcasts and audiobooks, like I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go see this movie that I'm excited about. But like I'm so involved in like this fucking series that Sean and I are reading right now, and Ray's starting it as well. Like I'm going back and looking at books, and I'm like, I'm never gonna read that one again. Return it. I need another credit. Like I'm like so involved in this, and I've gotten that way about several different book series, and I'm just like the same thing with several podcasts. As soon as I'm like, oh shit, it's Tuesday. This one came out, and I'm just like so excited, and I'm just kind of realizing it. Like I'm sure it's probably been there, but yeah, I think like I said, I still enjoy other forms of media, but I'm just really an audiobook / podcast person now. Like that's just like if you asked me, hey, we're going to produce a new thing, let's say Star Wars wise, do you want it in a movie, or what if we did it as like an audiobook, or what if we did it as like an audio drama as a podcast? I might be leaning towards the other part and be like, no, that'd be really fun to listen to. So I don't know. It just, yeah. So, all right. So let's just kind of round robin. If anyone has any additional ones, you can run through them real quick. Lainey, you got any additional ones?
I do have some additional ones.
What are your additional confessions?
They're low stakes, but I kind of have no interest in watching the other Star Wars prequel movies. I've seen Phantom Menace. I don't really care to see the other two.
Yeah, you're fine.
So
I'm kind of whatever about it.
Because she's not wearing the ring.
If
I
anything, you should
I
have
know I
skipped the
need to
Phantom
watch
Menace.
them, and I'm gonna watch them, but the original trilogy is just so much where my heart lies, and to not really have a lot of the characters that I like so much. And
R2 and C-3PO are in the...
that's fair, and I
prequels.
do love R2 more than life itself.
Here's the only thing I would say. I'll be honest with you. You can skip Attack of the Clones. You're fine with not watching Attack of the Clones.
Joseph,
If you decide you are going to watch Revenge of the Sith, which I do recommend watching, you need to go back and find a website that's like, you need to watch the following episodes of the Clone Wars first.
Yeah.
The reason is because once you watch those episodes of the Clone Wars, when you watch Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, it hits 1,000 times harder. Because otherwise, you're just like, oh, that's a cool. Oh, well, he's dead. There's a cool. No, he's dead too. And when you watch the series, you're just like, oh no, they killed him. Oh my god, it hits hard watching that movie afterwards.
I'll agree with Eugene on that one. There's Clone Wars episodes that you need to watch for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Ray, what were you gonna say?
or you go to Belated Media on YouTube and you watch What If Episode 1 was good. Then you watch What If Episode 2 was good. Then you watch the third one.
Don't do that.
That he creates is so much better.
I like that. I like the Cliff Notes.
They're not Cliff Notes. It's his version.
It's his version, and it's so much better.
So it's not canon, so it doesn't matter.
But you get the gist of it, and it's fine. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very seriously though, like Clone Wars, like there are lots of episodes, especially in that first season, they're just like, oh hey, it's a cute episode where R2's doing something or Jar Jar's doing something. It's just like whatever. And then later on, you start to care for these characters, and when you watch them die in real life, it's just like, oh my god.
Why would you
Yeah.
want me to experience that? I cried like 16 times during the 5 episodes of Stranger Things that we got.
Okay, the only reason I say that, the only reason I say you need to do that is because Dave Filoni is still in charge of Star Wars, and he's the one that did Clone Wars and Rebels, and he's just going to keep pulling stuff out of those. Like,
All
it's,
right, that's fair.
yeah,
I'm gonna do it. I'm just not.
I gotcha. All right, did you have any others?
Yes. I don't understand the difference between Bowser and King Koopa.
There isn't.
That's what I don't understand. Why are there 2 names?
Bowser is his name. He is the king of the Koopas.
He is king. Thank you. Learning everything every day.
Wow.
I thought I needed. I've always
That
got
was those
that
things.
mixed up because I think I said something about King because I know the reference Big King Koopa, but I think I said that and I was like, so wait, something about Bowser, and you were like, it's the same person. I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's kind of like how it was Princess Toadstool in the original games, and as time has gone by, no, she's Peach.
Peach. I love Peach.
Yeah, so same person, we just call her a different name.
Okay. I meant thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then let's see. My last one is I watch old Disney parks planning DVDs when I'm alone for no real reason.
Not just when she's alone.
I'll just put them on. It'll be from like 2002. Or from like 1996, or from 2012, or something. Doesn't matter. If I can find it. I used to watch, because I had them. I had like 3. And I used to watch those, and then I don't have a way to play them anymore, so I just watch them on YouTube. But yeah, I do that.
There you go.
Not as much as I used to, but yeah.
Like I can handle episodes of what's the YouTube show where the guy does like a ride or a park or whatever.
Teaching Mr. Morrow?
No, he does other stuff than just Disney. Crap, what's it called? I'll think of it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Joseph. Any other additional ones?
I have 2 more. I actually enjoyed the 2nd and 3rd Matrix movies, and
I won't watch
did
them.
not dislike them. The 4th one, Resurrections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Because they don't explain shit in that movie.
No. And they left it open for a 5th one.
Another movie where they don't tell you how anything happens?
Yeah.
Well, why is it like that? I can't tell you that. Well, what about I can't tell you that?
And then the other one is I enjoy the movies, but I've never liked the Star Trek series. I like the movies. And I've seen the movies multiple
not
times.
big of a Star Trek
But
guy.
the actual TV show, I never really got into.
Right, which
Any of them?
TV show? Like,
Well, the original series and TNG, I never really got into, and I haven't watched anything else.
huh?
Now,
We should
I'm
talk
open
later.
to it. I'm open to it, so if you have recommendations, I would definitely give it a shot. But just, I watched the movies with my uncles, but my parents never like watched the original series, so I never did, so I never picked it up. And then TNG, all I remember about TNG is on the same time as when the X-Files came out, and I would have rather watched the X-Files.
Oh yeah, you're a big.
See, I wonder, is it one of those things because of age? It's not like you're a huge gap between.
Yeah.
I grew up on TNG.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I
TNG.
wonder if it's one of those things. It's like, unless you were of the time or just really got into it, it may not hit anymore. I don't know.
But they're on
Lucas?
I have them like on lists like of those shows. Like every once in a while, I'll go and rewatch Stargate SG-1 because I know I like those kinds of shows. I just never start. I feel like I'd have a better time with TNG than the original series, though.
Yeah,
I think. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
TNG and Deep Space Nine and Voyager, because they're all tight, like they're all the same time period. Yeah, I definitely TNG, especially if you can get the first season, they're trying to find their way, but some of the storylines get really good in later on.
I was gonna say once Riker has his beard, they hit their stride.
Which is season 2. Season 2, baby.
Yeah.
Isn't she the one with LeVar Burton?
Yes.
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 Thank you.
And Defunct Land, that's the series I was talking about on YouTube. Like, I don't mind watching a good Defunct Land episode. Like, he tears into some shit.
Love Defunct Land. I love
but
it.
like,
Love
I don't
Captain
necessarily.
Kirk.
His is not one of those shows. I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna put on his channel and just start ripping through all the episodes. But
So good.
So, all right, Joseph, did you have any more? Or
Yep.
Okay, Sean.
I have Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It kind of got killed as a movie. The critics really didn't like it and thought it was boring. I really enjoyed that movie. For some reason, I can just keep watching it. I don't know, maybe I was on drugs or something like that. Anyway, and then going back to Star Trek Into Darkness and Star Trek Beyond. A lot of Star Trek fans really didn't like them, but Into Darkness, for some reason, they didn't like Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. They think they were whitewashing him, which maybe, but fuck, he did a good job. So piss off. Into Darkness, I really enjoyed, and Star Trek Beyond, despite the fact that they told the Enterprise, really enjoyed that movie. It was fun. They said it was boring, and I'm like, yeah, kiss my ass, it was. It was really good, and it pulled from Star Trek lore so well, like from Enterprise even. What friggin' movie pulls from Enterprise? I loved Enterprise, and it got killed too soon. And then they had an NX ship in it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. So those two movies from the Kelvin timeline got dissed, and you know what? Screw it. I'm an uber Star Trek fan, and I loved them, so everyone else could piss off.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
Ray,
it.
do you have any additional ones?
Yep. Don Cheadle is the best Captain Planet.
He's on.
Yeah, you're right. But that's not a big competition, dude. The original Captain Planet sucked balls.
Woody from Toy Story is a dick.
Yes. Yes.
A wooden dildo, huh?
That is actually backed up by science, because when they wrote the original script and did the original storyboarding and stuff, and did some of the preliminary animation, they had to totally rewrite Woody's character because he came off as such a fucking unbearable asshole.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Wow.
That is a real thing.
Yep. Last thing is, so one of my guilty pleasures is 90s and 2000s rom-coms and stuff like that.
Oh,
Obviously.
he loves
They're
rom-coms.
they're
Obviously.
yeah,
Oh my.
give me Fever Pitch, give me
50 First Dates.
going
Yes.
going the distance is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, anything like that.
That kind of stuff. That being said, Lainey posted something the other day that I have to watch this movie now. Josie and the Pussycats was fucking awesome.
It's a perfect film.
And it reminded me that we can all enjoy what we want to enjoy. It's fucking great.
It's a great movie.
It has a good soundtrack.
Oh, hands down one of the best
Pop music, by the
soundtracks
way.
of all time. No, that's a Letters to Cleo album is what that is. It's a Letters to Cleo album. But that movie is a commentary on capitalism, and I'll die on that hill.
Oh, I'm with you. That's why I love it.
So good.
So, just so you know,
I'll
Ray,
just show you something. Right?
in my top 5 movies of all time, 2 of them are rom-coms.
Oh, Joseph loves a rom-com.
Serendipity and You've Got Mail.
You've Got Mail.
Oh my god. You Got Mail is one of the best movies ever made.
We watched that.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Sean's like, what the fuck am I on here?
Yeah.
Here.
Like I was gonna say, I'm gonna run you over with a forklift next time I see you with plant there, Ray,
We
but
probably
it's
watched
all of you.
You've Got Mail. I think this year alone we watched it like 10 times.
Well, so
Wow.
we have a rotation of movies once it becomes the fall, and You've Got Mail. Once it starts to get a little crisp out, that it'll
You
come
have to
on
watch it.
and it'll stay on
Oh.
all the way through Christmas.
It's
You've got-
because
You've
it
Got
that's
Mail.
the
Um,
fall in
well-
New York, baby.
Yeah.
I have a personal thing. She has graciously allowed me to continue doing this, but the day midnight on Thanksgiving, Christmas Vacation
Fuck
goes
you.
on,
2 days
and
before
every day.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, 2 days
It's just
before
Christmas
Thanksgiving.
Vacation.
I
All right.
love.
That's not a rom-com though. That Christmas
No, that's just
Vacation.
one of our
But
weird.
that's just one of our weird quirks.
Movie.
That's
Like
that's
during
fine.
in
That's not a
October.
quirk.
In October, we like to only watch Halloween episodes of our favorite
TV
shows that we like.
Okay.
That's a
That's
We
cool.
do only Thanksgiving episodes in November.
That may be harder to
Should we
find,
do that?
I'm assuming.
Thanksgiving's in October.
Not as hard as you.
Okay, fair enough, Sean.
I love it.
I believe it's Chris's turn.
Eugene, it's my turn.
Yes, Chris, I'm sorry. I was trying to wave the baby in here so you could see the baby, but
Baby.
Chris, any additional ones you might have?
Just two. Anyway, okay. A Harry Potter one. Snape is a dick. The fact that he's super obsessed with Lily makes him an awful, awful person. I can't understand why anybody would defend him. The whole end scene where he gave Harry that memory or whatever through his tears, like it's because he was dying. If he wasn't dying, do you think he would do that? No.
No.
So Snape is just awful. I don't like him. And then my last one is I don't like comic books or graphic novels. I just don't. I don't like reading them.
think
I can
it's fair.
appreciate the art and the artistry and the work that goes in them. I just don't like reading them.
I enjoy them, but I never buy them. I don't read them is the thing. Like there are rare occasions they're going to start doing another Ghostbusters series. I will probably follow that, but otherwise, yeah, I don't ever read them. Like I've got some back here that I've read once or twice, and I'm just like, okay, cool.
Right, he's got a whole bunch of he's got stacks of graphic novels and comic books, and he just loves them. And I'm just like, I tried, and I was just like, meh, not my cup of tea.
Gotcha.
Fair.
All right. Like I said, I only had 3, so at this point, if I just added anything, I'd be ranting. So let's go and move on to our picks and pans real quick. Lainey?
My pick, actually I have 2 picks. My first pick is Coca-Cola Starlight. This is my whole personality now. I know that it has existed and I've seen it. They sell it right now at Walt Disney World, and so I see it a lot on like Disney Instagrammer pages and stuff. One of my favorite theme park journalists, Carly Wiesel, she really, really likes it. So she posts about it sometimes. But I'm not really a soda person. I like the sodas that I like, but even then, if I'm not having like
we don't keep soda in the house.
No, like if I'm not having pizza, tacos, or a burger, then I'm probably not gonna randomly drink a soda. It's not really my jam. But I saw some friends last week, and I mentioned something about it, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, you should definitely try it. It literally tastes like cotton candy." I was like, "Okay." So we were out the other day, and we happened to stop in and just like, "I think I'm gonna get a soda. Do you want a soda?" And I saw that they had it, and they had the 0 sugar version. So I was like, "I'm just gonna grab one of these."
She has come home with bottles of them every day.
Every day
since.
since.
Really?
I went to 2 different convenience stores yesterday.
After she left your house.
No, before I showed up to their house.
Oh.
Yeah, she showed up to the house with it.
Yeah, I went to 2 different convenience stores yesterday to find them. And then this morning, I Googled it to see where they were in stock nearby. They only had them at one Walmart close to me, so I drove way out of my way to go to that one Walmart. And then I was pissed because they said that they had the little cans and they didn't have them. And I was pacing up and down the aisle like an animal. But they had them in like the big bottle. So I just bought 4 of those. And then I was like, well, I kind of want a cold one. So I stopped at 2 more convenience stores.
Jesus, you are obsessed with it.
Wow.
They're very good.
They're
And
so good.
the ones she came home with the other day were the regular ones. They're okay. The zero
The
sugar
zero sugar ones are
way
better. They taste like they say that they're space flavored, which already you got me. I'm hooked. But they taste like almost like marshmallowy. They're so good.
And they're pink.
And they're
with
pink!
with sparkles in it.
I was looking it up, so they are available in Canada. So I bet you, if Logan hasn't had it yet, she's about to. So
They're delicious.
Yeah.
They're so good.
The zero sugar are better than the regular.
The zero sugar ones are legitimately, they taste better. I don't know what it is. The flavor is just better. But yeah.
Aspartame.
Right. But no, I bought, the regular ones are good though. I bought those, and then because I was there, I bought a 6-pack of Baja Blast. So, which is the other like only soda I really like.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times we'll order Taco Bell on DoorDash and they forget her Baja Blast and the fit that it gets thrown.
Because why else am I ordering it? So that's my first pick is Coca-Cola Starlight. Also, apparently it's being discontinued in like August. So I'm like, well, fuck me. So there's that. And then my second pick is Sean's little beard. I love it. It looks so good.
Aww.
I'm into it. I think you should keep it.
I plan on it.
Do it.
Good deal. Joseph.
I also have 2 picks. Pick number 1. We decided on an apartment in Denver, so we have a place to live now.
Nice.
The guy that was our apartment locator did a freaking phenomenal
he did
job.
a great job.
We are in a fantastic area. There is a big park with a lake almost right next to us.
Walking trails.
Right across the street is a shopping center that's got a bunch of restaurants, like a bunch of stores and stuff like that.
Torchy's Tacos.
There's a Torchy's, so there's a little piece of
There's
home.
a Torchy's there?
Yeah!
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so there's a little piece of home there. The best part, in the middle of rush hour traffic, 10-minute drive for me, 10-minute drive for her.
Oh,
Top
amazing.
spot.
And we go
right
in
in the middle.
opposite directions.
Yeah, we go in opposite directions, but it's right on that main road that. So yeah, it just worked out. I mean, it is at the tip top, like no breathing room of my budget, but it's worth it. You know, I'm gonna go from an hour and 15 commute both ways to a 10-minute commute both ways. So
Nice.
that is, I'm looking forward to that.
Right now you have a no commute.
Right now I have a no commute. That is correct.
That's true.
Yeah. My second pick is The Boys Season 3. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
fantastic. I'm glad it already got picked up for season 4, which is great. Today's episode, the one that came out today, I watched while I was eating lunch, and I am a huge Supernatural fan. So to see Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy, it was just like, yes, like I get some more of that. And
Soldier Boy, like
he is
that Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. It's a parody. Imagine if Captain America went crazy and started killing everybody.
Oh, like budget Captain America that we got. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. They proved that Thanos could have been soloed by Ant-Man, and you know, you'll have to have watched the show to understand what I mean.
I haven't gotten there yet, but
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
Described it to her.
I didn't watch it, but he described it to me later, but I will say it sounded disgusting, and it was louder than Housewives, so...
Episode 1, 10 minutes in.
yeah. I just remember what you were talking about. Yep.
That gives me the willies.
Yeah.
But
Ew!
yes, that was gonna be one of my. That was gonna be the geeky hill I was gonna die on. That Ant-Man could have soloed Thanos, but I chose to go with something else. Yes, so those are my 2 picks.
Gotcha. Sean, do you have any picks or pans?
Oh, my balls hurt now. Thanks.
I know, right?
My pick is Deb made the Kinder Music top program again this year.
Good job. Nice.
110 out of like 27,000.
Damn.
Yeah. 7th in Canada.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. So she's rocking that. So big pick there, and my pan is I fucking got COVID a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Oh my god, it was so friggin' horrible. Oh,
Was that your first time?
yeah. No one else in the house got it.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that's lucky.
Yeah, like it. I'm still coughing constantly and nose running and all that. I lost my sense of taste and smell for 4 or 5 days, like completely,
Mhm.
which really threw me off. Yeah, it was horrible. So, but I got it at work, so I'm filing a WSIB claim. Screw you guys. But, yeah, that was my pan, man. It was horrible. So,
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, man.
yeah, getting there.
Ray.
Yeah, I've got a pan and a pick. So my pan is the passport updating system that we have in this country is fucking brutal.
I think mine have lapsed. They're probably sitting in my safety deposit box still.
Well, hopefully you don't have to go anywhere in the next 45 days.
Yeah, I'm
And
good.
if you do, you got to go into the passport office at about 4 a.m. now.
You have to wait
'Cause-
outside now.
You got to wait outside until they open up at 8:30.
I've heard.
If you're in the line at 8:30, at the front of the line or close to it, you might get heard around 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My boss went through that too, and then he went and said, "Yeah, I'm actually traveling in 2 days," and they skipped him to the front of the line.
Yeah.
Now he got a lot of hate, like
Yeah.
walking by everyone, but he was out of there in an hour,
Yeah.
and he lied.
Oh my God.
He actually wasn't leaving. It was for his daughter, but yeah, that was the only way you can get through that line.
Yep.
That's
Hey.
crazy.
I got through it. I finally got my passport, but fuck you anyway. And then you know what? My pick is we're getting tons of new stuff, and I am so for it. It's been 2 years of waiting for good stuff to come out consistently, and we like Stranger Things, Miss Marvel, Picard, Obi-Wan. Like they're rolling them all out, and I'm all here for it.
Same.
Chris.
Yes. Okay. So I have some picks and a pan. So I started watching our Flag Means Death. Oh, it's so
Oh,
horrible.
it is.
It is awesome.
I love it. So it's making me want to watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
I
Oh,
watched
so good.
I'm fascinated by polygamy. So I watched this documentary on Netflix, not a practice, called
Keep
Keep
sweet,
Sweet
pray and obey.
with the Warren Jeffs. It was awesome.
Christy's watching it right now or just finished it.
So good. After us, just it was amazing. Stranger Things Part 1. That was really good. I really like Eddie. He's so cute.
Oh,
But
I have something to say about that afterwards. Keep
okay.
going.
And then Miss Marvel, I like that mainly because we live with Miss Marvel.
Yes, you do.
That was Quinn. Off you go, buddy.
We'll join you in a minute, bud.
And then my pan is we saw The Cursed Child, which is a Harry Potter play. We saw it at the Mirvish Theatre in Toronto. It's not good.
Oh no!
Thought a lot of the script. And then as the play was going, I'm like, oh yeah. Visually, it was stunning. The way they did it was super creative. The cast was amazing. The props, the way they moved scenes, super great. It was just the material. Harry's a dick. I don't understand why Ginny would put up with that. Just a lot of stuff. The way the time turner thing with the plot holes. Anyways, whatever. There was just a lot wrong with it, and it was 3 hours long. I got bored.
Isn't there like an intermission and you like come back?
There's
You're there for 3.5 hours.
You're there for 3.5 hours. So hour and a half, and I knew the intermission was coming up, so I kept like every time they dimmed the lights, I'm like, no. And that's when I got bored and I got frustrated. And it was the first time and it was a sold out thing, so it was the first time for me being in like a kind of a full capacity with all that many humans. We all had to wear masks. That's not the case anymore. You don't have to. But we were all crammed in there. So it was very weird for me too. This is the first time that's happened in 2.5 years where I've been with that many people at the same time. So it was weird. So then we had the intermission, and then everybody flooded to the bathroom, and I had to pee, but you only get 15 minutes, and I'm like, fuck, I'm never going to make it. So then, the last half was just me being like rocking and like twisting my piece back. But yeah, it was, and then it was the Toronto. I hate Toronto. I don't like Toronto.
Took us 2 hours to go
850 meters.
half a mile.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit right in rush hour, so it was, our bad a little bit that way, but construction was going on, so we had to keep going into single. Anyways, it was stupid, and it was kind of not worth the traffic to go see Cursed Child.
I'm sorry, friend.
That's okay. I read the script years ago, and I couldn't really remember a lot of it, so.
I am glad we didn't spend the money to go see it when we were in England.
When we were in England, we had an opportunity, but the exchange rate meant we would have been spending $600.
Fuck.
Yeah, so very glad we didn't do that. Yeah, after seeing it.
Especially after seeing it.
Yeah.
You were not the only person that I have talked to that said it was not.
I know.
That's what I was telling her. Yeah.
Yep.
I've got two. One of them's already been mentioned. Christy and I think we've still got 2 or 3 episodes left of Stranger Things. Oh my God. I enjoyed the second and third season. I know a lot of people, especially the third season, kind of was like, it's just not what it was. I'm glad they had the time because it's back at full strength. Like you were talking about how you love what's his name, the Eddie. I have a hard time going back. Like I kind of want to go back and rewatch the original season because of any character anywhere, anything. Steve has got to be one of the most changed characters ever, and I freaking love Steve. His chemistry with Dustin is just fantastic. The way they bounce off of each other, like they have to be friends in real life. Like it's just they're fantastic. Go on.
The only thing I was going to say about Stranger Things is it's one of the only shows that I know of that every time they add a character to it, they've enhanced the show.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Every character has made it better and given it more depth. And I agree with you, Eugene. I have loved the Steve Harrington character arc.
Yeah.
Because I hated him in the first season because he was an absolute garbage person, and then to see him come around and be like, oh no, we all went through some shit together, like
they're trauma bonded.
So
I love him and Dustin, but I love Dustin's ongoing feud with Mike's dad. I love that they just fucking hate each other.
Oh, that's hilarious too.
Room together, they just I love it.
Yeah. My other pick is Christy and I did not think, like, she kind of shocked me out of the blue asking to go see this. We went and watched Top Gun.
You were shocked?
I didn't think she would want to go see it. She's like, I would go see that with you. And I'm like, really? Okay, let's go watch it. Score another legacy sequel. Like, unlike a lot of movies that, they're like, oh, it's been 10 or 15 years. Let's see what's going on. And it's garbage. This Ghostbusters Afterlife, and that was one of the other funny things about this and Ghostbusters Afterlife in particular. If you have not gone back and watched the originals in a long time, you don't necessarily have to. Like, if you've never seen the original Top Gun, number one, you probably should go watch it. But if you've never seen it, you can go watch this movie and enjoy it completely for what it is. It was just a good movie. And the fact that, like, there were certain things that had to happen, like the fact that he's like, no, we have to have Val Kilmer in this movie. We have to figure this out. He has to be in this movie. Like I was telling Christy, he's such a weird dude because it's like, on one hand, he's crazy as batshit crazy with all of the Scientology stuff. But on the other hand, it's like, no, he was a stand-up dude because he's like, no, Val Kilmer has to be in this movie. I understand stuff's going on, but we're going to present him as being a good guy. And I'm just like, good for you, but you're still batshit crazy.
Two things can be true. Tom Cruise can be a bad person overall and have made the right decision for this movie.
That's true, yeah, because doesn't mean you're always, yeah. But no, seriously, if you are kind of on the fence, go watch it. And it has like a 96, 98%. And I will say it's deserved. Like, everyone I've talked to has seen it was like, no, I really enjoyed the movie. The casting and stuff, was phenomenal. Like it's just, and of course, a lot of people are now rocking the porn stash because they think they can pull it off. Some people can, some people can't. Hello, cat. But anyway, no, seriously, if you haven't seen it, go see it. So. All right, that is our show for the month, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Google, Stitcher, wherever it is you listen or watch the show. You can find us at epicallygeeky.com, where you can find links to all the other shows we do, including the Sustainably Geeky, Marginally Geeky, and Creatively Geeky shows. Because things just kind of got bunched up here, the day that this drops, you'll actually be getting an episode of Sustainably Geeky and Creatively Geeky at the same time. So lots of good stuff to listen to. And then, of course, you can find us on all the social stuff at Epically Geeky. Where can we find you online, Lainey?
You can find me on Instagram at It's a Laney Bird. I might add you. I might not. We'll just see.
Joseph?
You can just Google me. Things will happen.
Sean?
Screwing with Wikipedia all the time. So don't use it for your like theses and stuff like that, kids, because you're fucked. Unless my daughter fixes it, because that's her new thing. And your favorite broken toy on Instagram, which, yeah, I'm starting to get a lot of random people wanting to get in on the action. So
nice.
You might get in on it. Let's see.
Ray?
It's double time to fix all of the issues with Wikipedia that Sean's put up there. So I'm working with his daughter to deal with all of that. Skippy. I'm gonna start calling him Skippy for fuck's sake. No, the Reluctant Yeti on Instagram is where I am at, and I might have to change that soon. I'm feeling a change coming.
Ooh. Okay. Chris?
You can find me on all the shows you mentioned, and on Instagram at Moody Midlife.
I'm glad to see that you had a return on Sustainably Geeky.
I did, yeah. It was because it was about green teens, and Jen doesn't have any kids, and I do. So, and they happen to be teenagers. So we talked about that, which was it was a very interesting discussion about how to talk to your teenagers about climate change and how sort of instill those not so much thoughts, but just behaviors of being more conscious and things like that. And I got into a little bit of our parenting philosophy and stuff like that. So it was interesting. And we did a double episode, so we're going to be on I can't remember her name, but we're going to be on her podcast too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've edited the show. I have not listened to it yet, so I'll definitely check that out when it drops. So
awesome.
Because I go back and listen to the episode. And as always, you can follow my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. For everyone on the site, have a good night.